I'm going for a moody U-Haul vibe today. Are you looking for a paint color that is beautifully rich, sophisticated, and new? How about Sherwin-Williams A New Gray? Okay, that was good. Good at being terrible, terribly creative? Please don't click away. My goal in today's video is to give you all of the important information you need to know about A New Gray. And this includes how dark it is, what kind of color it is, but also I'll feed you some other colors that coordinate with it beautifully. If this kind of video interests you, then hit that beautiful red subscribe button as we push all the way to 100,000 subscribers. I wonder if we can do it by New Year's. That would be a crazy New Year's party, right? Paint testers everywhere. The color code today is SW7030. And on this channel, when we have codes, we crack them. Normally the first question we like to answer is how light or dark the color in question is. But more importantly, in this case, I want to get to what many people ask me about. Is A New Gray warm or cool? This is always a tricky question to answer, especially in the neutral category of colors. And you could say quite assuredly, is that a word? Assuredly, with great certainty, that A New Gray is pretty neutral feeling. Neutrals often have cool and warm qualities, and so does this color. The cooler side being gray, and the warmer side being what some people may describe as beige, although a deepened version of it. You tend to see a decent amount of brown here as well, which gives the coloration a bit of a taupe feeling at times, but I would probably just define it as a mid-tone grayish. It's not the warmest of grays out there, but I think most of us can agree that you see more brown or beige compared to any green or blue that might be present. So that's what gives it its slight warmer edge. I also mentioned earlier that it's a mid-tone, and I found out this information quite simply by checking out A New Gray's LRV, which is 47. And a quick little reminder for all my newbies watching, no offense by the way, because we were all newbies once, even when it comes to paint colors. LRV just stands for light reflectance value, which is a 0 to 100 numerical scale that describes the percentage of light that any color reflects. 47 LRV means A New Gray reflects about half the light that hits it, which is pretty middle of the pack depth-wise. And that means that it's a color that will be noticed on a wall. It's far too dark to be confused with an off-white, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's dark enough to be your #1 big, bold accent color. You got a lot of other choices. Very middle of the road, which is definitely not a bad thing if you are looking for something colorful but still conservative. Let's go straight into the coordinating colors here because I like pairing creams with A New Gray. For some reason. I don't know. Something about that combination makes the gray even more pronounced, and I like that little back and forth that comes with that. The light color pairing was going to be creamy because of the name. I mean, if I'm looking for a cream, I want to go with creamy, right? I'm so smart. I instead went with something that was, dare I say, creamier, with a little more pronounced beige and even a touch of orange in its undertones. The color is called Biscuit. It has a 74 LRV, which explains its more noticeable saturation for an off-white. I actually like that it's not trying to be a white paint color. It's colorful enough to feel deliberate, and more importantly, will pop off of any surrounding white trim or woodwork, which we'll get to a bit later on. I wouldn't necessarily advise using Biscuit as your trim color, especially for A New Gray, unless you were considering them as exterior color choices. That's the outside. That's a whole other thing, by the way. Now, by the way, I know I talk a lot about colors in the interior context a lot. Should I do exterior color codes too? You know what to do. Let me know in the doobly-doo. The mid-tone color choice shares several things with A New Gray. They both have an identical 47 LRV, they both have gray in their name, and they both don't really look like a true gray to me. The color is called Chelsea Gray, and maybe in the right circumstance would this color fool you into thinking it's just gray, but I picked it because I feel it's more than that. It's this metallic, cool gray-green quality that draws me to it. It also distinguishes itself from A New Gray, but especially from Biscuit, for a really different look altogether that can help create distinct spaces within your home. Chelsea Gray is also a smashing exterior color.
Smashing, smashing, smashing.
If you want a very subtle accent as your front door or a main body color, but paired with A New Gray, Chelsea gray is just another gray that is trying too hard to be what it's not, which is gray. The dark color pairing is called porpoise. And when I heard my fiance first pronounce it as porpoise, I gotta tell you, I almost porpoised my pants. I guess she's just pronouncing it how it's spelled, which does seem like the better option, admittedly. Man, those British people are just so smart. Porpoise is a deep taupe combination of black and brown, which leaves you with a subtle green undertone in certain circumstances, but really just gives you a beautifully rich accent color that you can use to coordinate alongside a new gray. That's kind of how I look at porpoise as a color, just an extremely dark version of a new gray mixed with some black colorant as well. The white color to finish off is Greek Villa. With all of these other colors, I could really see it being a phenomenal choice as your trim color to paint your baseboards and frames with. Here's our review on it. Hey, that's not me. Oh yeah, we haven't reviewed it yet. This is Kylie M. She's pretty awesome too. Tell her I sent ya.